Welcome to the channel, everybody. Today we're heading up north to Canada, land of maple syrup, politeness, and apparently a whole lot of undocumented immigrants. So buckle up, grab some poutine, and get ready to explore the top 10 Canadian cities with the most undocumented immigrants. Let's go. First up, we're heading to the Six Iron, the city that Drake made famous, the one and only Toronto. Now, Toronto is known for a lot of things: its iconic CN Tower, its love for Drake, and its diverse population. But did you know that Toronto is also a hub for undocumented immigrants? The job market here is booming, especially in sectors like construction, hospitality, and caregiving. For many undocumented immigrants, these jobs offer a chance to make a living, even if it means living in the shadows. They contribute to the city's economy, pay taxes, indirectly of course, and become part of the fabric of Toronto. But they also face constant fear of being caught and deported. The city is also known for its relatively tolerant attitude towards immigrants, regardless of their status. So, there you have it, Toronto, a city of contradictions, a place where dreams and realities collide. From its vibrant nightlife to its bustling art scene, Toronto offers something for everyone. The city's food scene is a melting pot of cultures, offering cuisines from around the world. Education and innovation thrive here, with top universities and research institutions. And let's not forget the efficient public transportation that keeps the city moving. With its parks and green spaces, Toronto offers a breath of fresh air amidst the urban hustle. Truly, Toronto is a city that never sleeps, constantly evolving and growing. Next, we're heading west to Vancouver, a city known for its stunning natural beauty, its laid-back vibe, and apparently, its immigration loopholes. Vancouver has a long history of immigration, both legal and undocumented. Some argue that this relaxed approach creates a more welcoming and inclusive environment for immigrants, regardless of their status. Others worry that it encourages more people to come to Canada illegally. Vancouver's approach to immigration is complex and nuanced. It's a story of hope, resilience, and the ongoing debate about what it means to be Canadian in the 21st century. Bonjour, mes amis. We're now in Montreal, the city of 100 steeples, delicious bagels, and a certain je ne sais quoi that makes it so unique. Montreal, like many Canadian cities, has a strong social safety net, including access to healthcare, education, and social assistance programs, even for those without proper documentation. The city's French language and culture make it a natural destination for immigrants from French-speaking countries in Africa and the Caribbean. However, the availability of social services does play a role in attracting and retaining undocumented immigrants. But it's not all croissants and café au lait for undocumented immigrants in Montreal. They live in a constant state of uncertainty, navigating a complex system while trying to build a better future for themselves and their families. Alright folks, buckle up, because we're heading to Windsor, Ontario, a city that's closer to Detroit than it is to Toronto. Windsor's proximity to the United States makes it a prime location for, shall we say, alternative border crossings. For some, crossing the border into Canada represents a chance at a new life, free from persecution, violence, or economic hardship. Now, I'm not saying that everyone in Windsor is on board with this. There are definitely people who are concerned about the influx of undocumented immigrants. Windsor, a city caught between two worlds, a place where the American dream meets the Canadian reality. Saddle up, partners, because we're heading to Calgary, Alberta, a city known for its cowboy culture, its oil industry, and its, well, surprisingly welcoming attitude towards undocumented immigrants. Calgary has a long history of welcoming immigrants. It's part of the city's DNA, going back to its frontier days when people from all over the world flocked to Alberta in search of land and opportunity. Now, this doesn't mean that Calgary is some kind of undocumented immigrant utopia. There are still challenges, of course, so while Calgary might not be the first place that comes to mind when you think of undocumented immigrants, it's a city that's quietly challenging our perceptions and showing us that, even in the most unexpected of places, compassion can bloom. Alright folks, we're heading north again to Edmonton, Alberta, a city known for its frigid winters, its love of hockey, and its booming economy. Edmonton's economy is fueled by the oil and gas industry, which attracts workers from all over the world. And let's be real, those oil sands jobs are not for the faint of heart. But for many undocumented immigrants, these jobs represent a chance to make a good living, even if it means living in the shadows. Edmonton, a city of hard work, resilience, and the enduring belief that even in the coldest of climates, opportunity can flourish. Hold on to your maple leaves because we're heading to Ottawa, the capital of Canada, a city known for its political intrigue, its historic architecture, and its, well, surprisingly competitive housing market. Ottawa's housing scene is a complex web of high demand and limited supply. Ottawa might be a city of politicians and civil servants, but it's also a city of people who work in the service industry, in construction, in healthcare. These are the people who keep the city running smoothly. But with rising housing costs and a limited supply of affordable options, many residents are feeling the squeeze. Undocumented immigrants in Ottawa are finding themselves caught in a bind. They often face additional challenges in securing stable housing. They often end up living in overcrowded apartments in unsafe neighborhoods or in precarious housing situations. The city's growing popularity, combined with its limited housing stock, has created a perfect storm for a housing crisis that affects everyone, but especially those who are already marginalized. Community meetings and protests have become more common as residents demand solutions. The housing crisis is a pressing issue that impacts marginalized communities the most, making it harder for them to find safe and affordable places to live. So, while Ottawa might be the seat of Canadian power, it's also a city grappling with the very human issue of housing affordability. The challenge now is to find sustainable solutions that ensure everyone has a place to call home in this vibrant and historic city. Next stop, Hamilton, Ontario, a city known for its industrial past, its stunning waterfalls, and its, well, somewhat lacking public transportation system. For many undocumented immigrants, owning a car is simply not an option. So they rely on public transportation to get to work, to school, to doctor's appointments, to, live their lives. But in a city like Hamilton, where the public transportation system is, shall we say, underdeveloped, getting around can be a real challenge. This lack of reliable transportation has a domino effect on their lives. So, while Hamilton might be known for its steel industry, it's also a city grappling with the very real issue of transportation equity. Buckle up, folks. We're heading to Winnipeg, Manitoba, a city known for its friendly people, its frigid winters, and its, somewhat complicated legal framework when it comes to undocumented immigrants. Immigration is inherently tied to the law. And in a country like Canada, where the rule of law is kind of a big deal, understanding the legal framework for undocumented immigrants is crucial. For undocumented immigrants in Winnipeg, this legal maze can be particularly daunting. They often face language barriers, lack of access to legal representation, and the constant fear of being detained or deported. So, while Winnipeg might be known as the gateway to the West, for undocumented immigrants, it can often feel like a dead end. Ahoy there, mateys! We're dropping anchor in Halifax, Nova Scotia, a city known for its maritime history, its vibrant culture, and its, surprisingly appealing quality of life. Nestled on the eastern coast of Canada, Halifax offers a unique blend of old-world charm and modern amenities. Halifax, with its laid-back vibe, its friendly people, and its picturesque landscapes, is a place where you can truly unwind and feel at home. And its relatively affordable housing market, which is a rare find in today's world of skyrocketing real estate prices, is quickly becoming a destination of choice for undocumented immigrants looking for a more, shall we say, relaxed pace of life. The city's slower rhythm and welcoming atmosphere make it an attractive option for those seeking a fresh start. Now, I'm not saying that Halifax is some kind of undocumented immigrant paradise. There are challenges, of course. Job opportunities can be limited, especially in specialized fields, especially for those without proper documentation, which can make finding stable employment a daunting task. And access to services can be tricky. Navigating the system without the right papers can be a maze of red tape and uncertainty. But there's a sense of community here, a feeling of belonging that transcends legal status, a willingness to embrace diversity, and a spirit of inclusivity that's hard to find in bigger, more anonymous cities. Here, people know their neighbors and look out for one another. So, while Halifax might not be the first place that comes to mind when you think of undocumented immigrants, it's a city that's quietly proving that quality of life isn't just about fancy condos and Michelin-starred restaurants. It's about community, connection, and finding a place where you can truly belong. In Halifax, the charm of the East Coast meets the dreams of those seeking a better life, creating a unique tapestry of stories and experiences. And that's our whirlwind tour of the top 10 Canadian cities with hidden immigration stories. Who knew Canada could be so, dare I say, dramatic? Remember, behind every statistic there's a human story. These aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet, they're people with families, dreams, and the same desire for a better life that we all share. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and stay awesome.